They said Cubans in Miami is not letting black women that's big in their clubs. They're not letting them in.
Outside, taking a break. A man rolled up in that truck and then rolled back, and he asked me what company I work for. I don't know who this man is. I did not feel comfortable giving him any of my information, and so now he just took a picture of me and is saying that he's going to call the police.
But let's talk about anti-blackness in the Cuban community.
Our community can be very anti-black. This is a perfect example, and this is why I don't blame black women for only wanting to date black men.
I now feel for the black community because I know what it feels like to be racially profiled. I didn't know it before, and I thought it was a little bit of a reach, but now I totally get it.
African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American.
Bravo, bravo. That's what they look at black people as, the help. Not as allyship, just disposable help. Someone that they could put in front of them as a shield.
In this video, we take a look at the situation of being black in Miami, Florida. Also, we'll look at some Latinos who face discrimination and racial profiling for the first time and are now speaking out and addressing anti-blackness in the Latino community. So let's keep watching this video, then we'll come back here and discuss further about it. But before we watch the videos, if you haven't yet liked this video, kindly like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Let's watch the videos together.
They said Cubans in Miami is not letting black women that's big in their clubs. They're not letting them in. They're refusing them service. They're saying they're too big and they're too dark. I repeat, Cubans are in Miami telling black women that's too big, they can't come in. Huh? I'm confused. Like, but y'all hate when we make it into a race thing. Why are y'all making it into a race thing? Y'all hate that when we talk about the issues. Why are y'all doing that? Why are y'all doing that? Like, I never been to Miami. I haven't been. Now, no, I'm not that big, but are you going to tell me I'm too dark? Probably. That's crazy. Like, I met some people that was from Miami before. They act stank as hell. Like they do. They act like they shit do not stink. Like they better than everybody.
Sitting while black in Florida.
I'm sitting outside, taking a break. A man rolled up in that truck and then rolled back, and he asked me what company I work for. I don't know who this man is. I did not feel comfortable giving him any of my information, and so now he just took a picture of me and is saying that he's going to call the police. So so here we go. We'll see what happens. This man has a gun. He's now talking to my producer with a gun in his hand. So he's confirming the address with the police. I called my producer because I didn't feel comfortable leaving. A lot of times in these situations, if you leave, you're still in a bad situation. So he has a gun, it's in a holster, and he's talking now to my producer who I had to call. As a rule, I don't give out information, any of my personal information, to somebody that I don't know. So now my producer's talking.
I now feel for the black community because I know what it feels like to be racially profiled. I didn't know it before, and I thought it was a little bit of a reach, but now I totally get it. That's what a man came out on here and said. And this is why we should believe victims. This is why we should believe people's stories. This is why we should have empathy. And this is why we should be able to put ourselves in other people's shoes. Because you thought it was a reach. That's what he said. He thought it was a reach when the black community said that they were being racially profiled and they were getting stopped for no reason. And like, it probably wasn't that serious. But now that Latinos are getting racially profiled, now he gets it. This is why empathy is so important, because you never know when the tables turn. And no, it shouldn't be transactional. It really shouldn't. You should believe people, because you should think. You should be able to think outside yourself and be like, if that was me, I would hate that. I don't have to be black to realize that that freaking sucks. That what they go through, what they've experienced, sounds painful. That I can't even imagine the years of frustration and honestly, just freaking frustration and anger that they must feel. But guess what? Now Latinos get it. Now. And that is why we are in the situation that we are, because people don't feel for others until it happens to them.
African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American.
Bravo, bravo. That's what they look at black people as. The help. Not as allyship, just disposable help. Someone that they could put in front of them as a shield. And that's why a lot of these white Cubans left Cuba. It's not necessarily because of politics or ideology. It's because of racial equality. Before the Cuban Revolution, they used to discriminate against black Cubans. It was legal. Black Cubans didn't have access to healthcare or education, and they lived in poorer conditions where they served the white Cubans. After the Cuban Revolution, all that changed. They start promoting racial equality. Black Cubans start having access to healthcare, access to education. And a lot of white Cubans, that made them feel uncomfortable. They were used to the old Cuba, where they had an upper advantage on the black Cubans. They're not going to bring this information up freely. That's why when she says save us, servitude, you're nothing but the help, disposable help. Make my white Cuban life a little bit easier and comfortable, since our white savior.
Now that I have addressed the racism within my own community, let's talk about the anti-blackness that exists within the Latin American communities. So I wanted to take my time before I made this video. I knew it was coming, but I had to go out in, the field and ask my people what's going on. So this is what I concluded. When I went to go talk to them, they said that, we don't like African Americans because they feel that we owe them something. I want to make two things clear. First, I want to start off by saying that when we say things like this, we are following the same agenda that we are fighting against. We are fighting against white supremacy and racism. Those ideas that, that we have, the way we think, the way we are taught to fear African Americans, that is the same thing that we are fighting against. It's no different. When we choose to speak like this and participate in these stereotypes, we are no better than the people we are fighting against. And that is a point I want to make very clear to the people within my community, that you guys sound ignorant. We need to figure it out. Where do you truly stand with this? Because, people are right. You can't ask African Americans for help when this is in the real world. That is how they are treated. My second point. Reparations are owed to the African American community. Without them, we would not be able to vote. We would not be able to go to the same schools. We would not be able to sit wherever we want. Let's not forget. They have been fighting for a very long time, since they came here. And us not acknowledging, I know I don't feel that as a country we have paid the respect that they owe. They really do. We owe them everything. It's because of greats. They're great people. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., the Black Panthers, they paved the way for us. They are the blueprint. And for us to go and participate in the same mentality that we are fighting against, it's just horrible. And it's wrong. If we don't fix this type of mentality and check our people, we are no better than the people we are up against. I want you to know that ignorance is our greatest enemy. So please do not allow yourself to be blinded by hate. I love and respect everybody, and I just want to say that if there's more people in the Latin community who are with me, I need y'all to say something. I need y'all to join the fight with me, because I can't be the only one.
The stuff coming out about Kenny does not surprise me at all, because a Latino being anti-black, kind of on brand, honestly. And I'm like very pro-Latina, but like being pro-Latina is like calling out the shit within our community, and our community can be very anti-black. This is a perfect example, and this is why I don't blame black women for only wanting to date black men, because it's like they're like put in these like horrible situations. And this is also why I understand why black women kind of side-eye black men who only date outside of their race, because yeah, stuff like this, it's like a lot of times when it comes to non-black people, and I noticed this, I'm gonna clock it, I noticed this with a lot of Latinas, they'll fetishize black men, you know? It's like those types of Latinas that like say the N-word all the time, and specifically only date black men and get box braids, you know what I'm talking about? But it's like, in the same breath, you do all that, and then they're anti-black, or they don't call out the racism in their family and stuff like that. Like, it's just so, I don't know. And I'm not saying that, like, black people can't be prejudiced towards Latino, that doesn't happen. I get it, but, like, we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is there is a very, like, serious, like, issue within our communities of just being anti-black and colorist. That the whole saying of, like, you know, when browner skin Latinos, like during the summertime, when they're told like, oh, don't go outside, you'll get darker. Huh? Or hay que mejorar la raza. Huh? Or güeritos más bonitos. Huh? I think it's like we really need to make an effort as a community to start calling out our shit, okay? And honestly, I just feel so bad for Janae, because she is such a beautiful, wonderful, that is a baddie, and she deserves so much better. So yeah,
Black community is mad because we're asking for their help. Instead of responding in a good way, they're really bashing us, bashing Mexicans, and saying,
I do have something to say first. This is my humble opinion. I think where we go wrong is that we ask for their help, personally. And let me elaborate. I don't think that we as brown people should be asking another race of people to help us. I think if another race of people want to help voluntarily, then that's that.
I agree. Not only asking, but and I guess I'll take it a step further, what I'm trying to say. I don't feel like they're asking for help. I feel like they're demanding our help. They're demanding that we pick up their fight. They're demanding that their issue become our issue.
Welcome back. So in this video, we took a look at the situation of being black in Miami, Florida. Some of the things that people face in Miami, Florida. So we looked at a situation of a lady who was sitting outside, and then she had an incident with a man who was sitting in his car requesting for her personal information, but the lady declined, and this man had to call the police on this lady. Also, it was stated in the video that Cubans in Miami are preventing black people from accessing some clubs. And one particular point that was made in this video that I really like was the situation of this Latino woman who was racially profiled, and that gave her a hint as to how black people are racially profiled in the United States of America. And that developed in her some empathy for black people who have gone through this situation over and over and over again. So she says that people do not need to experience it before they also have that kind of empathy. So you see, some Latinos racially profile against black people or discriminate against black people, and when white people do exactly the same thing to them, that is when they get to realize that what they are doing to someone, it's exactly what some white people are also doing to them. I like the fact that a lot of Latinos in this video spoke on anti-blackness in the Latino community, that there are lots of anti-blackness in the Latino community, and then it needs to be worked on. They need to work on their mindset in order to get rid of this anti-blackness that is in the Latino community. For instance, Cubans in Cuba, even in Cuba, the white Cubans were discriminating against the black Cubans, and things were at the disposal of the white Cubans, whilst the black Cubans were marginalized, and they were used by the white Cubans in order for them to work for them until the Cuban Revolution happened. And then there's this equality that both the black Cubans and the white Cubans are able to access things equally in the country of Cuba. So some white Cubans who have traveled from Cuba to the United States, he stated in the video that they do that because they were not getting the treatment they used to get before the Cuban Revolution. And now because they are not getting that, that is why some of them have moved even from the country of Cuba. Now, Latinos are fighting the same white supremacy, but some Latinos, this same white supremacy that they are fighting against, in contrast, some feel superior to black people, and this is a double standard. You don't want white people to feel superior over you, yet you want to feel superior over black people. This is not right, and this should not be encouraged at all. I really like the point of this Latinos calling out anti-blackness in the Latino community. Let me know what you also think about all these in the comment section below. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family on other social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down here. Click on the subscribe button. Click also on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you again in my next video.